Hello there everyone, so welcome to my new vlog. So I'm actually sitting in a room that's very similar to the room that I lived in for nearly 2 years here at Kent, but I'm just staying in this room for a week because I'm doing Merry Wives of Windsor rehearsals and I can't move into my new house till next Wednesday. And I thought actually, because it's got like a board just above the bed, I thought this would be like a great angle to film like a video with, and I think it actually works quite well, because I've currently got 2 books stacked under here and I've got a notebook that's kind of holding the camera, and I think so far it seems to work, so I might try this again at some point, but I'm kind of experimenting and trying to creatively come up with ways I can kind of hold up the camera without having to do it handheld as I would with like a follow me sort of video, so that sort of thing. But I've wanted to do a sit down chat video, and I thought about this being the first of a series of videos that I've temporarily named Woman with Autism, kind of for now until I can maybe think of another name. I mean, if you've got any ideas, then I would love to hear them. So if you do have some ideas, comment in the comment box below. So I was diagnosed with autism when I was 4 years old. I've had it, I've known that it's part of me all my life. It's only a very small part of who I am, but I think kind of having known that it's there and it being a kind of bigger part of me than I was when I was younger, it did in some ways, well, sort of affect my growing up and my relationships with people, and I think in some ways it kind of does make me worry about kind of friendships and the issue I want to talk about in this video today. So without further ado, I'm going to say what the bloody topic is, and that is popularity contests. So I think popularity contests mean different things to different people. So I think when I was at secondary school, you were popular by you were skinny, you did lots of sports, and were just really good at everything, and so that was what got you popular, and friends and partners and all that, and also if you were listening to certain sorts of music. Whereas if you weren't into all that like I was, it really kind of made you like an outsider. So when I was at school, I didn't like sports. The only sport that I was really good at was swimming, and the other one I liked was dancing. I wasn't into like One Direction and The Wanted and GLS and Zac Efron, who were the heartthrobs when I was growing up, and because I didn't dress a certain way as well, I got picked on because of that. And I think it shows that kids can find fault with anything and then they'll find something to bully you. But kind of a popularity contest also kind of came in when I was trying to get into groups for drama work. So I struggled to find a drama group at GCSE because it was a horrible kind of popularity contest, because I didn't fit within a certain circle because I was different. But it did end up being that I did find a really good group in the end. But I think kind of now when I'm looking at my university experience, I will be honest, I do feel like popularity contests I've still kind of been about when I've like gone for things and then other people have like got them. I won't say what they are and I won't say who, because I don't think that's right, because I feel like that they're much more popular than me because they do certain things differently that seems to fit within a specific mold, which, you know, in the theatre industry is kind of part of what it is, because it is brutal and people do have very kind of fixed ideas. But I think because they were much because they were much more popular, so they would do things like, you know, going out clubbing and drinking and being part of all the socials, and I suppose had that stronger kind of presence in a group of friends and in a room, that meant that they were more likely to get things more than I. And not going to lie, that really, really hurts sometimes, because it does make me worry about why I'm not there, and it makes me worry that I've got something wrong and I don't know what that is, because sometimes people on the autism spectrum don't know or don't understand social conventions and social meanings and signals that neurotypical people have. But it does not make them any less of a good person. It's just, I think sometimes people, neurotypical people sometimes have that kind of small-mindedness, and they won't kind of give someone who's a bit different a chance because they're just so drawn and locked into a specific sort of world. So that's sort of like what I've had with my own kind of experiences with popularity contests, and then I have found it really hard to kind of process and appreciate it when people, like a lot of my friends have said, oh, you've got nothing to worry about. People absolutely love you. They love how enthusiastic you are about drama. They love how enthusiastic and how strong you are, and your determination to push on through despite all of the challenges you go through, which I do love hearing, and it is nice, but it's just sometimes it is really hard to accept that. And I think that really kind of comes into within popularity contests. It's such a great area for kind of self-doubt and self-criticizing kind of really comes in as well, and can be a field that you thrive in. But I think if you're going, that's only one way you can go down with it all, and really the best way to go is just to stay true to yourself. And this is what I would say to anyone who's like, to any people like me who are struggling with popularity contests or feel like they're struggling to fit in, or they don't get thought about, or they might feel like they're a second or a third choice. And I am going to be quoting actually something I heard from, I think it was Anton saying to you one day in Love Island, that just because you're not someone's like first choice or anything like that, it does not make you any less of a good person, which I think is absolutely lovely and really fits in. So that is something I would say to anyone who feels like they're struggling with popularity contests and fitting in. So, and also I would say just stay true to yourself no matter what, because your true friends will stick out and be there for you no matter what. And eventually the right people will show themselves and will maybe give you the chance that you need, and will ultimately be life-changing. But the setbacks you have, don't focus on any issue of popularity contests, but just focus on the lessons learned and gone, okay, this actually maybe wasn't right for me, and this isn't the right way I can show off what I have to offer. And just remember, the right opportunity and the right people will show themselves eventually, but sadly I think you've just got to be patient, which I know for a lot of neurotypical people like myself, that is really hard to comprehend, because you just want things to fit, you just want things and to have stuff come in like almost immediately in the way that it seems to happen for neurotypical people. So even now I do sometimes struggle with the fact that I feel like my friends are like holding meetups and socials, and they don't include me in it. And even though that really does hurt sometimes, and it does make me feel like an outsider, but one of the things I do try and remember kind of with it is that it doesn't mean that they don't think any less of me, and sometimes they just might do stuff that they know isn't right for me, because sometimes I feel like my really lovely friends actually know me better than myself, and are probably much better at keeping me within my limits when I might try and push myself into something that's very much outside my comfort zone and could cause something like a panic attack or an overload to happen. And there are always socials in other ways, like through societies as well, and through things that you are interested in, where you meet people and find a group of friends. And also, you know, there are friends who are always willing to go, say, if you message them going, oh, let's meet up for a coffee, let's go for lunch or something like that, or do you want to come around and watch this movie, they will go, yes, let's go and do that, because you only really need one other person to have a good time. Oh goodness, I've actually said a lot in this video. So I've actually posted this with the hope that it actually can help someone who is feeling like they're struggling with anything at all, and I just hope it helps to educate and help, or really I should say help neurotypical people kind of understand like how different the world and relationships are for neurotypical people, so people on the autism spectrum or with other thing, or on the neurodiverse spectrum, because it's absolutely huge and everyone is different within their own and unique ways, and what will define you ultimately is how you view yourself and how you move forward with things and find your own course, because that's what ultimately kind of, oh actually I was just about to repeat myself there. I'll try not to do that, but I hope you kind of understand what I mean. If you've got any questions as well, just leave that in the comments section below. And I think this very much concludes this video, and I think I would like to finish with the quote from Winnie the Pooh, which is, "You are braver than you believe, tougher than you think, and stronger than you seem." Thank you.